Welcome back to the Andrew Weissman Show. I am Andrew Weissman, and tonight we're broadcasting live from our studios in Miami Beach. And we're excited to have such a great lineup of guests. And for those, we appreciate you tuning in to our first broadcast with Rohan Marley. And this show is all about successful living an entrepreneur's lifestyle. So with that, from our guests, we're going to have fun. We're going to learn about fashion, about travel, about business, about entrepreneurship, about food, all types of different things that you can experience in living a successful life. But tonight, we are very honored and thrilled to have a very special guest. And it's a guest of somebody that I've known for, 25 years? At least. Somebody I've worked with and just had a pleasure just to know and
like
be a part of your life.
I love it.
So, but it's Loren Ridinger. You know, Loren is, so welcome, Loren. Thank you for being on the show.
On your show. I love it. I'm so excited, and I love that you actually have a live studio audience here tonight. This is amazing. You guys have a great crowd over here cheering us on. I love that. That's fantastic.
The one guest. But we, so Loren, you know, you do so much. You're a mother, you're a grandmother, you're a wife, you're an entrepreneur, you're an executive. How do you do it all?
That's
how do you just, it's just so much.
That's a lot of things. I don't know. I think I'm still figuring it out. I mean, I'm a master juggler. I don't think anybody has the exact formula, the perfect solution on how to, you know, juggle your life and how to manage so many things. I think you just put the things that are important to you first and make sure you achieve your dreams and you know, you just juggle. You juggle. I don't think there's a master formula for perfecting time and how to divide your time. I just think it's all about, you know, putting things in perspective and putting the things that are important first. Everything else falls into place.
I think you're great at that. One thing, you're extremely organized.
You know, I'm an absolute organizer.
You're a freak when it comes to that, which is great. And I know you, like you said, you prioritize. You get those hardest things done first.
Yeah, I think that's so important. Doing the hardest things first is so critical because I think if you don't do the hardest things first, then we kind of procrastinate, we never get around to them, and then we never see success because generally success is not easy, right? Right. You know, it takes a little bit of work. And, you know, if you put the hardest things first, well, then everything else for the rest of the day can be whatever you want it to be.
Because you succeeded that day.
Right, because you've already done the tough things.
Well, you know, it's interesting. I mean, obviously our business environment is unique because we've been together for so long. And most people, you know, especially, you know, couples, husband and wife, being together 24/7 could be stressful.
You could kill each other if you wanted to. I mean, there's all types of things you could do. You could want to kill each other. And I think, you know, working.
So how do you handle it? Because I mean, with you and JR being the CEO and the founder, with you, you know, with the company, you're together 24/7. How do you keep from going insane? How do you keep from strangling?
Well, usually Thursdays are the day that he could die. But generally we get along great. You know, we're great friends, best friends, and great partners in life, and great lovers, and great roommates. You know, and I think when you respect the person that you work around, the person that you're with all the time. Life is okay, and you manage to work around things. Certainly, I'm not a yes woman, and he's not a yes man. So
that's true.
That's true. You know, we usually don't always agree, but you know, we generally agree on the important things, and you know, it makes for a really unique relationship.
And the result is always good because not agreeing could be a good thing.
I think it's good. I mean, you know, I think that you know, it's 24 years or 25 years of marriage. I lost track. And, you know, I'm really proud because most people throw in the towel and never make it work. And it's even more challenging, like you said, when you work with somebody that you're married to and that you're in business with. And I think that it can be done. Right. You know, it's challenging for sure. You know, I'm not going to say it's not challenging. Of course, there are days you want to just wring his neck. And then there are, you know, I'm sure he feels the same. But we have an incredible relationship.
You've done it. But you think about it, you know, think about all the success that you've experienced, right? With the team, the business. You know, a lot of people might think that with all this success, you'd live, you know, the life of luxury. You'd be on the beach. You'd be just spending time with your family. You'd just be, you know, kind of enjoying the fruits of your labor. But you're still maybe even more driven today than you were 24, 25 years ago. You're so passionate. How does that passion continue, and how does that drive continue with, you know, even though you've reached such a pinnacle of success?
Well, you know, I mean, your father's here in the studio. We
added a studio audience member.
Your dad's here in the studio, and
I
think
two.
We have more people joining the studio audience.
People are attracted to the Andrew Weissman show.
Of course they are. Of course they are. I think, you know, what we do is, you know, people think that when you're super successful, everything's all about luxury. And I think for us, it's more about, getting our tennis shoes on, not being afraid to get dirty,
Right.
doing what has to be done. And I think that when you have momentum and you've achieved success, it's really easy to continue that success by pushing.
Right.
When you start to achieve success after a while and you start to reach the top of the mountain, you can either push further or you slide backwards. For us, it's all about pushing further. We have a great team and everybody throws their tennis shoes on and their sweatpants on, and it's not always, luxury, but it works, and we're workers, and we love what we do. And I think when you love what you do, it's easy to continue to do the things that you do daily. I think it's people who generally aren't happy with what they do, or they're not satisfied with the occupation that they're doing. They're not satisfied.
Well, somebody said before that if you really love what you do, that you never work a day in your life. So
Yeah,
I think that even though we all work so diligently and passionately and very hard, we also work smart. We also have fun because we all are. We do have a
Very
love
close
affair
team.
with what's happening.
And we have a close team. I mean, think about it. We work with our families. Your father, my father. My brothers, my husband, my daughter. I think when you're in an environment, my sister. When you're working in an environment where you're working with people that you love, who kind of have the same beliefs and the heart that you do, you just keep going,
Right.
and
That's what we
you
do.
all work for the same thing.
We
have
had
an
a
incredible
third.
team.
We have four people
We have
in the
Mark
studio
Ashley,
audience now.
Mark Ashley, our
Fantastic. No, this is
COO in
great.
the studio, which is fantastic.
This is great, but when you think about it, it hasn't always been this way, has it? I
No,
mean, you
no.
think about all the technology that the company's developed and what we have, all the products that we have, all the partners that we have. But take us back to the very beginning.
Yeah, the beginning was challenging. I mean, that's why when people ask me, how do I continue to, keep going forward when I'm not achieving success? Everybody fails in order to get to success. I can't think of a time that it was ever easy in the beginning. And even when you achieve success, it's still not easy.
Right.
It still requires a huge effort to make things work. In the beginning, we all operate out of one very small place, as you know. And we had one car. It was a Ford Taurus, and we shared it. And, there was no money for frivolous things. And certainly, our big dinners, as you were there for many of them, were Wendy's Super Bar, those date nights that we all had. And I think that, they're what make us. And that's what makes us stronger. And, I think that one of the great things about our team is that we still do some of those things today. Maybe we don't drive from, North Carolina to Miami Beach to go to a meeting and we fly, but there are still certain things that we still do along the way that take us back to that time to remind us where we came from, and I think that's important.
I was just going to say that every team member has always and will always remember where we came from.
Yeah.
It's all about making a difference in other people's lives who, want to make a difference in their own lives, and that's what the business is all about.
And that's what our business is all about. And I think there's only so much money somebody can make, or so much success that somebody can achieve as far as a paycheck goes. And for us, it's never about a paycheck. I think that making money is a wonderful thing and it helps make life easier, but it certainly doesn't make people happier necessarily. I think what it does is it takes the pressure off, and I think that when you realize that hard work pays off to make life easier, and you're not afraid to try it, it makes all the difference in the world. And for us, it's about helping other people succeed and average people or to become above average, or ordinary people to be extraordinary. Things that really make a big difference for people, and creating belief. Most people just don't believe in themselves that they can achieve success.
There's so many, our business lends itself to financial rewards, and financial success, but there's so much that can be fulfilled by an individual just personally, from a self-esteem standpoint, a leadership standpoint, a personal growth standpoint. I think that's great,
Well,
too.
I think most people, as you said earlier, and I said that, or one of us said, people lack confidence. And I think that, that's the first thing that people have to believe, is in themselves. And, most people, when they're little, they dream so big. And then by the time they've reached teenage years, they're being told that they can't do what they want to do, and you might as well not worry about being a doctor. You might want to just, work in the family business because, being a doctor takes a lot of money and you have to be really smart. And it's sad because, we somehow or another dream a lot when we're little, but we stop dreaming when we reach our teen years. And, everything from there generally goes downhill, and people lack the confidence that they need to succeed.
With our business, you can dream again.
Yeah, and that's what makes our business so special. I mean, we've seen it happen with people like Elizabeth Weber, our top earners, or somebody like Laura Lair, who's an incredible achiever using motives. I think, our business really, really targets just anybody who wants to just try and really puts themselves into it.
Those are the people that we attract.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question. So I always see you busy.
Yeah.
I never see you not doing something.
Yeah.
But what do you like to do in your spare time?
Well, I don't like to shop in stores, as you know, because I don't have a lot of patience. That's one of the things I'm always working on for myself. Going into a store and having somebody give you help with getting something is generally difficult to do because they're usually on their cell phones now, or they don't know where anything is, or it's out of stock and they tell you to go online and order it. And so that's why I shop online.
Right.
So one of my favorite things, of course, to do is to shop online because I really believe that, with people reducing their overhead and having fewer employees, we get better deals by shopping online. And that's one of the great things about Shop.com and Market America that we've done is we've kind of aggregated all of those incredible deals in one place. So somebody can buy anything from, Target or Walmart to something as fancy as, Saks Fifth Avenue or Neiman Marcus and find anything they want. And I think that's incredible and I love it. And, of course, when I'm not online shopping, I love spending time with my grandkids.
Of course,
that's
of
the
course.
best thing ever.
Of course. Well, we have a lot of our viewers do shop online.
Yeah.
Some of them have their own shop.com websites. Some maybe have never shopped online before.
Yeah, and the great thing about Shop.com is you can actually register in less than 25 seconds to become an online customer. And the great thing about it, what's the reward? Well, when you register on Amazon.com, there really is no reward except you get to shop from Amazon. But when you register to shop on Shop.com, you earn cash back for all your purchases. And of course, you register, you earn cash back for the people you refer to shop. So even if you don't shop online a lot, but your mother does, or your sister does, or you have a friend like me who shops online a lot, then you actually earn cash back for their purchases,
just get paid for
which
that
is
as well.
amazing. So why wouldn't you? Because you can buy all the same things you can at Amazon.
So we know you're the queen of online shopping.
Yeah.
You know how to find the best deals, save
Yeah.
time, save money, and you made it to where people can get paid to shop, right?
Yeah.
With our business model and our technology. But one thing that people might not know about you, Loren, is the fact that you're an incredible and amazing private investigator. A private investigator.
That's true.
Anywhere from searching for the Malaysian airline.
Yes.
In fact, I woke up to a text saying I found the plane. To now at Ancestry.com, you're investigating your family roots and your family history. But where did this come from, and why do you like doing
I think when I was a little girl, I always dreamed I would be, Jacqueline Smith from Charlie's Angels. Natalia and I talk about that all the time. We would be, Charlie's Angels, and I loved investigating different things, and I think that's what makes me really good at what I do, not just in my personal time, but for business, because I like to investigate the very best technologies, the very best of everything, not just Malaysia Airlines, of course, although I do know where that is. I'll fill you in later.
Yeah, you found the plane.
And I did.
Yeah.
And digging all the way back to my family roots, I think that's super important. So I love to investigate and dig deep, and of course I'm always there for my friends if they need a good investigator. So it's fantastic.
We're always amazed what you find.
Thank
but
you.
before we go to a commercial break, I think we have a question from the audience here, and I just want to read the question.
Fantastic.
And that is, how do you keep looking younger and younger, especially being so busy?
Oh my God, thank you so much for saying that. I don't know. I have great products. I mean, I use Lumiere to be every day. I never go to bed without washing my face. I put sunscreen on, about 100 SPF every single day. And, I really work hard at making sure I take the right vitamins, and we have great products.
We have the best products.
We have the best products, and some days I wake up and I'm like, I have bags under my eyes, and I'm like, somebody who owns a cosmetic company shouldn't have bags under their eyes, but you keep working at it, and I think the skin is the most important organ that we pay attention to.
Right. With that, I think it's time for a commercial break, but we'll be right back.
Fantastic. I'm
And
looking forward to
let's go to a
back
break.
with you.
Good. Glad you're here.
It's time to shake off that seasonal fog and get jazzed up about Black Friday and Cyber Monday on Shop.com. Now featuring the hottest deals of the year. Whether you're buying for yourself or looking for the perfect gift, Shop.com is your one-stop shop with the biggest savings around. Plus, earn cash back on select Black Friday, Cyber Monday purchases. Shop, save, and earn this holiday season only on Shop.com.
And welcome back. Loren, once again, it's great to have you on the show.
I love being on your studio set with now we have at least 6 guests in the room, which is fantastic.
Once again, the Andrew Weissman Show continues to attract great people.
Fantastic.
And so, Loren, obviously, as you mentioned, it's not always easy, right? I mean,
it's not always glam, right?
Not always glam, it's not always easy, you're not always living the life of luxury. There's a lot of hard work that goes into it, right? But what's been maybe the biggest challenge you've had to overcome in business or in your life? What's something you had to really overcome?
I think,
stands out?
in 2012 when I had a brain surgery for a brain aneurysm, that was probably the biggest challenge I ever had to overcome, because it wasn't something that, life gives you a warning about. It doesn't say like, hey,
Right.
by the way, in August you're going to have brain surgery, so let's prepare. Nothing happens like that. There's no preparation. You just have to be ready mentally. And that's a challenge, I think. Anytime you're dealing with facing something that can be catastrophic is always challenging. And I think it was more for me realizing that if I talked myself through it, I would get through it. And I did. And I felt like, the more I convinced myself that, I could have brain surgery and get rid of this aneurysm, that I would succeed, because it was easy to be afraid and kind of want to drop everything and not work anymore and just, feel sorry for myself. And, surely I had those moments, but I think it was more about, keeping myself around positive people, my team, my family. And also reminding myself that, if we educate other people about this, we can help prevent it. And I know that you were there when my husband was, filming inside the waiting room, right, at the hospital.
Well, it goes back to the whole superwoman thing. I think after your the surgery, what was it, only a week or two, whatever it was later, you were opening the international convention, with your speech and
well, it was a week before, the day I found out that I had a brain aneurysm. I had to fly away 3 days later, which, of course, the doctors advised against, because they thought probably shouldn't be in an airplane with all that pressure. But I thought, if you're going to go out, you might go out as a rock star. So I wanted to go out as a rock star, thinking if I go out. But my attitude was right, and I think it's all about attitude. And I think it reminded me again about how important our attitude is for our success, and success not just in business, but in our personal life, and overcoming things that feel like tragedies that, how will I ever overcome, or how will my children or my husband deal with being without me? I went through all those emotions, and I thought, either they're going to have a party or they're going to be devastated. And everything worked out because I think my mind was in the right place.
Right. And I think you're at your best that convention. That was amazing.
It was a pretty remarkable event, and probably one of the best times of my life and the saddest times of my life, because I was unsure, but I kept convincing myself that everything would be perfect. And we have a great, you're my brother. I have so many amazing people around me. I think when you have people rooting for you and convincing you that everything is going to be fine, you start to believe
Well,
it.
we all support each other.
It was
And you think,
amazing.
when you think about it, I mean, obviously, people will give you advice, at certain times in your life.
Yeah.
What's maybe the best advice you've gotten, and who gave
Well,
you that
my
advice?
husband is an incredible mentor of mine, and since I'm 18 years old and he was robbing the cradle dating me, he gave me great advice. He always made me believe that, you can achieve anything you want to achieve. And that was hard to believe back then, because when I met my husband, unlike what most people think, we had no money. I didn't marry a rich man, as you know. He didn't have a car. I think the car that he did had a mirror that was broken off the side. I mean, we couldn't afford to go out on fancy dates. But I think the one thing he always put in my mind is that you can be anything you want to be. Do anything you want to do that you set your mind to. And he was an incredible mentor, and always has been, always pushing, never easy. We talked about that earlier. He's not one who's kind of a sucker for, warm fuzzy. He's more tough and, makes you believe that if you want to do it, it's fine, but it's going to take blood, sweat, and tears. And if you're not afraid of that, you can achieve anything you want. And I think, he's always told me that, push harder and you'll achieve whatever you want. And he's been amazing for that.
Keeps leading us, doesn't he?
He pushes us all the time,
Making
doesn't
things
he? He's
happen.
fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's great.
He is. He's fantastic that way.
Social media.
Yeah.
We're all on social media. It's changed the way we communicate. Changed the way we really even shop now.
Yeah.
Because you can do social shopping, especially with Shop.com. But you have close to 1 million followers when you combine Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people out there that would love to have a following. They'd love to build themselves as a brand and build and create a following for themselves. What are some things you would tell them? Maybe some advice you'd give them?
Well, I think that social media leverages the playing field, as you know. I mean, you work it all the time. You have
Sure.
a great fan base, and especially now with the Andrew Weissman show, it's probably exploding, I'm sure.
We just want to connect with people. And
But my point is that social media leverages the playing field. No longer are we sitting around in front of our TVs waiting for the commercials or opening up magazines looking at advertisements. We're reading Facebook, we're reading Instagram, we're reading what people are saying on Twitter, and it's influencing us. And so because it's influencing us, everyone's an influencer.
Right.
And it's what they say that matters. And people think that their voice doesn't matter, but social media totally contradicts that, right? Social media lets everybody know that whatever you say, you're influencing somebody. Make sure it's good and not bad, right?
Yeah.
But you don't have to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars to grow a brand or a business. In fact, we have so many incredible franchise owners who are literally marketing themselves on social media and creating a brand for themselves.
they are their own brand.
Yeah, they are their own brand, which is amazing. And, when I think about motives, there's so many incredible, beautiful makeup artists out there that, literally have built a huge, incredible brand just with their own name by demonstrating photos or pictures or their talent. Years ago, you'd have to spend millions of dollars to really get your name out there. And today, you don't have to do that. It's
incredible.
amazing.
The technology now is so advanced, and with our technology combined with social media, somebody can really create their own ongoing income by creating what we call a shopping annuity.
Well, that's the funnest thing about our business right now, right? I mean, people, and Shop.com and Market America can actually create a shopping annuity by buying and converting their spending that they currently do in other stores into earning and making money, and that's fun.
Right. No,
we have a lot of fun doing it because we, do all these crazy videos that I've seen on your own Instagram.
Yep.
That clearly, show exciting things that are happening and what people are buying, and you wouldn't believe what people are buying, but they're getting it.
They're getting it,
and it's
here you get paid for it. So, Loren, I think you know this, but your closet has become world renowned. Did you know that?
No,
Did you realize
didn't,
that?
but that's amazing that
you have from your Hermes Birkin collection to your shoe collection and the Christian Louboutins to all the all the designer clothes that you have. But what's the one thing that you really couldn't live without?
Well, first of all, I think as life progresses, you become more. You become happier with the simple things. All those things are wonderful things, and certainly I've been a great collector of things that I think are special. I used to have the philosophy that, I don't really want money in the bank. I'd rather have money where I can see it in my closet. I don't necessarily feel that way today, but, I think the most important thing of all the amazing things I have is an incredible necklace that was given to me by one of our franchise owners, Maria Milad. And she gave me a great necklace that was probably not crazy expensive, a little gold medallion that had a picture of my husband and my daughter on it. And I've had it for 22 years. And as you know, you've flown with me many times. I refuse to fly without that necklace. And that's probably the most important thing I own, more important than any bag or special ring or anything. That necklace is probably everything to me.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's
it's really
great.
special. It's a good luck piece.
You know, you, as we talked about, you're constantly working. You're constantly looking for the next, the next thing. You seem to be always on the cutting edge when it comes to whether it be new ingredients for cosmetics or skincare or even fashion. You've been a bit of a trendsetter, in fashion. But how do you stay ahead of the curve? How do you?
Well, I partner with your father. Number one, he's amazing. Marty Weissman is a great partner to have for motives, and it's always amazing when you're working with men with motives, because they really don't have any personal opinion of color, but they want what's best. And I think that's cool, because a lot of times, I'll work with Maria or Kim and myself and some of our artists and our UFOs, and we'll be attracted to colors that we love, but maybe there's something that's more, high tech, but affordable for everybody to buy. And that's where Marty and some of our team comes in. The guys. And their input is so important, because it's not so much about what your personal preference is, it's what your personal preference is and what's best. And I think that's what's great about motives. We've done incredibly well. We're, doing into the, double-digit millions, and it's been amazing.
The following continues to grow, over 1.5 million followers now on Instagram. I mean,
it's incredible.
The product just performs, doesn't it?
It's amazing product, and we have amazing people behind it. Of course, Lala Anthony's my partner in motives, and I love it. And I feel like we've kind of brought together a line of products that, anyone can wear, regardless of your skin texture, your skin color. We have a wide range of beauty in every shade.
Right. It's been great. It's been great. And then the biggest part about that too
and your
is
wife likes it too.
Yes, it's good. It's a good thing. So we get
paid,
we get paid.
You get
in the
paid
Weissman
for
household
her getting the motives for Natalia, and of course you get to test out all the new lipsticks.
Which is always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. I'm
always
sure.
a pleasure. We have a new segment on the Andrew Weissman Show.
Yeah.
It's called Andrew's Ad Libs.
Andrew's Ad Libs. So you're doing the new segment
We thought you'd be a perfect person to start that with.
I'd love to start it with you. So this is kind of like your Jimmy Fallon, and I'm your guest, and you're going to do something fun.
This is a variety show, so you never know what can happen.
Expect. Right? Okay, well, I'm ready for it.
Let's roll with Andrew's ad. Okay,
let's go
you
ahead.
ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna say something. You just complete the sentence. Right? Here we go. Right. My biggest pet peeve is
disorganized people.
When I wake up in the morning, I
call my daughter.
Before I go to bed,
I call my daughter. And I wash my face.
Right. I'm most happy when
I'm with my grandkids.
When I was a child, I used to
get in so much trouble. I used to get in trouble. I was always grounded. I was always a leader.
Right.
So I was always taking us places where we shouldn't have been.
Mark's laughing about that one.
My brother's in the background saying that he remembers when I got suspended for a few days for being a leader. But you had to do those things.
I'm most irritated when
my husband's not listening to me.
The one product I cannot live without is
my Moto's. 10 years younger, it's the best.
My favorite drink is
vodka straight up.
My favorite food is
spaghetti.
My favorite shoe designer is
Christian Louboutin, Tom Ford. I have to say both.
And the last one is I consider myself to be a
leader. A leader and a great friend.
And I would agree with that on both accounts.
I would agree with that about you too.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure being on the
We're not ending the show quite yet.
Okay.
I know it's been a pleasure, and we appreciate you being here. We do have one other question I'd like to ask you, because we have a lot of people out there that are part of our business as unfranchised owners. We have people out there that are aspiring entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be kind of good for you to maybe provide them. What would be a little piece of advice or maybe a message you would give to an aspiring entrepreneur?
Yeah, I think it's the same message that was given to me. It's do the hardest things first, always. We have a tendency, as I said earlier, to kind of procrastinate the most important things that actually help us achieve success. So I always do the hardest things first, which sometimes means that the morning's not so bright, but it gets better by noon, and you can do anything you want after noon because you've done the toughest things first. And of course, never quit, believe in yourself. I think that most people throw in the towel when success is around the corner. And if I think about the times that, Market America and Shop.com didn't feel like they were succeeding and we could have failed, literally when we turned the corner, we started to succeed. So had we had thrown in the towel, we would have been just this shy from success. And so I think, doing the hardest things first, putting belief into yourself, eliminating negative people from your life. So whether that means you're in a, abusive relationship, or your respective other is, negative, or, doesn't want you to achieve success, then you have to rethink your life and think, am I in the right situation?
Right.
And I think a lot of times people are afraid to do that because they become creatures of habit. And, we have a tendency to stunt our own growth and stop ourselves dead in our tracks, and so we don't achieve success. So, that's my secret to success, and I still do those things every day.
Well, it's a great one, and we appreciate it.
I'm so
you
happy.
continue to inspire us. Thank you very
You've been
much.
working on taking some notes because you've been
Yes.
working on your organization
Yes.
a little bit.
Yes,
Keeping
yes.
nice piles.
Well,
and
yeah,
things, and
I'm
I
a
like that.
great leader to learn
Yes,
from.
I love that, and that's fantastic.
So thank you for being on the Andrew Weissman Show.
It's been a pleasure to be your guest.
And thank you for tuning in. You can look forward to the next show. Have another great, inspiring guest.
Yeah,
So
you have a
stay
great
tuned.
lineup coming up in a
Great
couple
lineup.
weeks,
That's
right?
That's right. And they'll stay tuned to learn about that via social media and some
That's
messaging.
fantastic.
And with that, have a great night, and we'll see you next time.